Right now, as you're watching this video, someone somewhere just died from a coconut. Not kidding. While you're 300 times more likely to die from a falling coconut than a shark attack, that's just the beginning of how absurdly dangerous our world really is. From ancient curses that actually kill, to everyday objects plotting your demise, to your own body betraying you in the most unexpected ways, these 25 deaths will make you question everything you thought you knew about staying alive. And fair warning, number 13 might make you never look at your bathroom the same way again. You're about to discover the strange, the shocking, and the downright bizarre ways that people actually leave this world. Let's get started. Number 1. The Coconut Conspiracy. Picture this. You're on a perfect tropical beach, palm trees swaying gently overhead. You're probably thinking about sunburn, maybe jellyfish. What you're not thinking about is the 150-pound missile hanging 80 feet above your head. Coconuts kill approximately 150 people every year worldwide. To put that in perspective, sharks kill about 5. That means you're 30 times more likely to be taken out by a coconut than by Jaws himself. The physics are brutal. A coconut falls at about 50 miles per hour and hits with a force of over 2,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crack a skull like an eggshell. In 1777, the explorer Captain James Cook actually wrote about this danger, calling coconut palms the murderous trees. He wasn't being dramatic, he was being practical, because sometimes paradise has a really dark sense of humor. Number 2. The Selfie Reaper. In 2015, more people died taking selfies than from shark attacks. Let that sink in for a moment. Your smartphone camera is statistically more dangerous than a great white shark. The numbers are staggering. Since 2011, over 300 people have died while taking selfies. They've fallen off cliffs in Ireland, been struck by trains in India, and electrocuted by power lines in Russia. There's even a term for it now: killfies. One of the most tragic cases happened in 2018 when an 18-year-old Indian student climbed onto a moving train to get the perfect shot. The overhead electrical wire killed him instantly. His final selfie showed him smiling, completely unaware that he had seconds to live. Russia got so concerned, they issued an official government pamphlet called Save Selfies, with helpful tips like don't take selfies with wild animals and avoid selfies on top of trains. The fact that this needed to be printed tells you everything about how we've weaponized our own vanity. Number 3. Death by laughter. They say laughter is the best medicine, but sometimes it's actually poison. Fatal laughter syndrome is real, and it's killed more people than you'd think. The most famous case happened in 1975 when Alex Mitchell, a 50-year-old bricklayer from England, literally died laughing while watching The Goodies on TV. He laughed continuously for 25 minutes straight at a sketch about martial arts, then suffered a fatal heart attack. His widow later sent a thank you letter to the show, saying that Alex died doing what he loved most, laughing. But here's the truly disturbing part. This wasn't a one-off. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Chrysippus allegedly died from laughter after watching a donkey try to eat figs. In 1989, a Danish audiologist died laughing at a fish called Wanda. The medical explanation? Intense laughter can trigger cardiac arrhythmia, asphyxiation, or even brain aneurysms. Your body literally can't handle that much joy. Number 4. The vending machine. You walk up to a vending machine. Your dollar gets rejected. You try again. Still nothing. So you give it a little shake, maybe a gentle rock. Bad idea. Very bad idea. Vending machines kill 2 to 3 people every year in the United States alone. They weigh between 600 to 900 pounds. And when they tip over, they crush with the force of a small car. The victim is usually someone trying to retrieve stuck snacks or money, shaking the machine just a little too vigorously. In 1988, a college student in California was killed when a Coke machine fell on him. He was trying to get a free soda by rocking the machine back and forth. The machine won. In Japan, they've actually started installing sensors that detect when machines are being tilted and sound alarms. The irony? That bag of chips you're dying for? It costs about 75 cents. The average funeral costs $7,000. Number 5. Death by icicle. Every winter, cities turn into crime scenes, and the weapon of choice hangs innocently from every rooftop: icicles. In Russia alone, icicles kill about 100 people each year. These aren't small chunks of ice. We're talking about 500-pound spears hanging 50 feet above sidewalks. When they fall, they reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, turning into frozen missiles that can penetrate concrete. In St. Petersburg, there's actually an official icicle season, where authorities rope off sidewalks and post warning signs. Local news reports the daily icicle count like a weather forecast. In 2010, a businessman was killed by a single icicle that fell 6 stories and went straight through his skull. The medieval feel of it all is almost poetic, killed by nature's own sword forged by winter itself. Except there's nothing poetic about being impaled by frozen water while grabbing your morning coffee. Number 6. The Toothpick Assassin. Here's something that'll make your next appetizer platter feel dangerous. Toothpicks cause over 8,000 injuries yearly with several documented deaths. Most people think choking, but that's not how toothpicks usually kill. They're small enough to swallow but sharp enough to puncture your intestinal wall. Once inside, they migrate through your body like tiny wooden bullets, causing internal bleeding and organ failure. In 2012, a Massachusetts man went to the ER with stomach pain. Doctors found a toothpick had traveled from his stomach through his liver toward his heart. Others aren't so lucky. Documented cases show toothpicks slowly working through organs over months like wooden time bombs ticking inside your body. Number 7. Death by texting. Your phone buzzes. It's probably nothing important, but you look anyway. You're walking, maybe crossing a street, and for just 3 seconds, your attention is somewhere else. Those 3 seconds can be your last. Pedestrian deaths from texting while walking have increased by 35% since smartphones became ubiquitous. People walk into traffic, off cliffs, into manholes, and through glass doors, all because they couldn't ignore their notifications. The average person checks their phone 96 times per day. Every glance is a tiny gamble with death. Your last words might literally be "lol," sent to someone who doesn't even know you're dying. Number 8. The Hippo Horror. Forget everything you think you know about cute chunky hippos. They're actually Africa's deadliest large mammal, killing over 500 people every year. More than lions, more than elephants, more than crocodiles. A hippo can run 30 miles per hour on land, faster than you. In water, they're basically underwater tanks with jaws that can snap a canoe in half. Their bite force is 1,800 pounds per square inch. For comparison, a lion's bite is 650 psi. In 2014, a group of school children in Niger were attacked by a hippo while crossing a river. 13 kids died. The hippo grabbed them one by one, crushing them in its jaws before disappearing back on the water. Witnesses said it happened so fast, the other children barely had time to scream. Hippos are territorial, aggressive, and surprisingly fast. They see humans as threats to be eliminated. Next time you see one yawning at the zoo, remember, they're not tired. They're showing you the weapon that's going to kill you. Number 9. The Escalator Trap. Every day, millions of people step onto escalators without a second thought. But these mechanical staircases are actually sophisticated death machines, claiming about 30 lives per year in the US alone. The most common killer, the gap between the step and the side panel. Shoelaces get caught, then feet, then legs. The machinery doesn't stop. It just keeps grinding. In 2015, a mother in China was swallowed by an escalator at a shopping mall. Security footage showed the floor panel giving way as she stepped off. She managed to push her toddler to safety before falling into the machinery. But here's what's truly terrifying. Escalator-related injuries are increasing every year. Loose clothing, high heels, untied shoelaces, they're all potential death sentences. The mechanism that's supposed to make life easier can literally tear you apart, one mechanical step at a time. Number 10. Lightning strikes twice. Roy Sullivan was a park ranger in Virginia who was struck by lightning 7 times and lived to tell about it. The 8th time, he wasn't so lucky, but that wasn't what killed him. He died by suicide, reportedly from depression caused by people avoiding him, thinking he was cursed. Lightning kills about 400 people per year worldwide, but here's the twist. 25% of lightning strike victims are killed while taking selfies during storms. They hold up metal selfie sticks like lightning rods, basically volunteering to be human conductors. In 2016, 3 people died in India after lightning struck their selfie stick during a storm. The photo was still on the phone when rescuers found them. Their final selfie showed them smiling in the rain, completely unaware they were about to be electrocuted by their own vanity. Number 11. The Honey Trap. Honey seems innocent enough, right? Sweet, natural, harmless. Tell that to the dozens of people who die each year from mad honey poisoning. Mad honey comes from bees that feed on rhododendron flowers. The resulting honey contains gray notoxins, natural compounds that cause hallucinations, paralysis, and death. In Turkey and Nepal, where this honey is common, people use small amounts as a folk medicine, but tourists often overdose, not knowing the danger. In 2012, a group of Russian tourists bought mad honey in Nepal, thinking it was a natural high. 4 of them died from cardiac arrest after consuming just a few tablespoons. The hallucinations they experienced before dying were reportedly terrifying. Geometric patterns, feeling like they were falling through the earth, complete loss of time perception. Number 12. Death by gaming. In 2005, a 28-year-old South Korean man named Lee Seung-seop played the online game StarCraft for 50 hours straight at an internet cafe. He barely ate, rarely drank water, and refused to sleep. After 50 hours, he collapsed and died from heart failure caused by exhaustion and dehydration. But he's not alone. Gaming-related deaths are becoming increasingly common, especially in Asia. The combination of sleep deprivation, dehydration, blood clots from sitting too long, and extreme stress on the cardiovascular system creates a perfect storm. In 2015, a 32-year-old Taiwanese man was found dead at his computer after a 3-day gaming marathon. Security footage showed him playing continuously, occasionally buying energy drinks but never sleeping. Other gamers at the cafe didn't even realize he was dead until staff checked on him 9 hours later. The most disturbing part? In some cases, other players continue gaming around the dead body, so immersed in their virtual worlds that they barely notice the real-world death happening right next to them. Number 13. Bathroom. Your bathroom is trying to kill you. Seriously. Bathrooms account for over 230,000 injuries and 14,000 deaths per year in the United States alone. The most common bathroom killer? Slipping and falling in the shower or tub. But here's where it gets weird. Elvis Presley, Don Simpson, and Lenny Bruce all died on toilets. The combination of straining, holding your breath, and sudden blood pressure changes can trigger fatal heart attacks. Then, there's the bizarre case of scalding deaths. In 2016, an elderly man in Florida turned on his shower and was instantly killed by 160-degree water. The water heater had malfunctioned, turning his morning shower into a literal death trap. Number 14. The meteorite lottery. Being struck by a meteorite is often cited as a 1 in a billion chance. But here's the thing about astronomical odds. Somebody always wins the worst lottery in the universe. In 1954, Ann Hodges of Alabama became the first documented person struck by a meteorite. She was napping on her couch when an 8.5-pound space rock crashed through her roof, bounced off her radio, and hit her in the hip. She survived, but barely. In 2013, a meteorite exploded over Russia with the force of 30 atomic bombs. Over 1,500 people were injured by flying glass and debris. One man was reportedly struck directly by a fragment and hospitalized. NASA estimates that about 500 meteorites reach Earth's surface every year. Most land in oceans or uninhabited areas, but statistically, your number will come up eventually. When it does, there's no defense against a 4.5 billion-year-old rock traveling at 25,000 miles per hour. Number 15. Death by invention. Throughout history, inventors have been killed by their own creations in ironically perfect ways. It's like the universe has a twisted sense of justice. Marie Curie discovered radium and pioneered radiation research. She also died from radiation poisoning caused by her own experiments. Her laboratory notebooks are still radioactive and will remain dangerous for another 1,500 years. Thomas Andrews designed the Titanic and went down with his ship during its maiden voyage. He spent his final hours helping passengers escape the vessel he'd created. But perhaps the most bizarre was Franz Reichel, who invented a parachute coat in 1912. To test it, he jumped off the Eiffel Tower. The parachute failed completely and he fell 187 feet to his death. Film footage of the jump still exists. You can watch a man die testing his own invention. The lesson? Sometimes your greatest creation becomes your final destination. Number 16. The garage door. Automatic garage doors seem convenient until you realize they're basically guillotines hanging over your head. About 20,000 garage door injuries occur each year, with roughly 30 deaths. The most common killer is the torsion spring, the metal coil that counterbalances the door's weight. When these springs snap, they release energy equivalent to a small explosion, turning into metal projectiles that can decapitate someone instantly. In 2018, a homeowner in Texas was crushed when his garage door's safety mechanism failed. The door, weighing over 400 pounds, fell on him while he was working underneath it. Security cameras captured the entire incident. One moment he was fixing his car, the next moment he was pinned under half a ton of metal and wood. Every time you press that garage door opener, you're basically playing Russian roulette with a mechanical death trap hanging over your head. Number 17. The champagne cork. You've probably heard champagne corks kill 24 people yearly. That's completely false. Investigators can't find evidence of a single confirmed champagne cork death despite this fact spreading across the internet. However, champagne corks can seriously injure you. They fly at 40+ miles per hour with 90 pounds of pressure, 3 times a car tire's pressure. Between 1982 to 1999, only 6 Americans suffered severe eye injuries from corks, but 25% became legally blind. Number 18. Spontaneous human combustion. Mary Reeser was a 67-year-old woman in Florida who, in 1951, apparently burned to death from the inside out. When police found her, only her left foot and her skull remained. The rest of her body had been reduced to ash, but the chair she was sitting in was barely damaged. The room showed no signs of fire. This phenomenon, spontaneous human combustion, has been documented over 200 times throughout history. Bodies burn completely from within, reaching temperatures over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, while surrounding furniture remains untouched. Scientists struggle to explain it. The human body is 60% water. It shouldn't burn like that. Some theories involve alcohol content, others suggest a rare reaction between body fat and clothing fibers creating a wick effect, but no one really knows. In 2010, an Irish coroner officially ruled spontaneous human combustion as the cause of death for 76-year-old Michael Faherty. His body was found burned beyond recognition in his living room, but nothing else in the room was damaged. Number 19. The automated car wash death trap. Car washes seem harmless, just soap, water, and brushes. But those massive rotating brushes can grab loose clothing, hair, or body parts and pull you into the machinery. In 2024, a North Carolina woman was killed after becoming trapped in car wash equipment while working a shift she wasn't even scheduled for. In 2020, a man in Irving, Texas died after getting trapped in car wash machinery. But perhaps most disturbing was a 2005 incident in California where a car wash attendant was pulled into a sidearm rotating brush while cleaning the tunnel. The machine continued operating, unable to distinguish between car and human. Most car wash deaths happen because people underestimate the power of machinery designed to scrub things clean, including them. Number 20. Death by hot water bottle. Hot water bottles seem like the gentlest way to stay warm, but they explode with surprising regularity, causing severe burns and deaths. In Ireland, 90-year-old Olive Sheeran died when her hot water bottle burst in bed, causing severe burns to her buttocks, thighs, and legs. In the UK, Florence Sutton died when a faulty bottle burst on her lap, spreading boiling gel across her body. The problem is, people keep hot water bottles for decades, not realizing rubber fails catastrophically when old. Medical studies show hot water bottle injuries are increasing, especially during economic hardship when people seek cheaper ways to stay warm. It's tragically ironic, killed by the very thing meant to comfort them during cold nights. Number 21. The revolving door. Revolving doors seem elegant and simple, but they're actually complex mechanical systems that can trap and crush people. The most common death occurs when someone gets caught between the door and the frame as it rotates. In Japan, revolving doors were temporarily banned from public buildings after a series of deaths in the early 2000s. Children were particularly vulnerable. Their smaller size made them more likely to get trapped in the mechanism. The irony is that revolving doors were invented to save energy by preventing air from escaping buildings. Instead, they became elegant death traps, killing people in the most unnecessarily complicated way possible. Number 22. Death by lava lamp. In 2004, a 24-year-old man in Washington state was killed by his lava lamp. He was trying to speed up the heating process by putting it on his stove. The lamp exploded like a grenade, sending glass shrapnel through his heart. Lava lamp explosions are surprisingly common. The waxy substance inside expands when heated too quickly, building pressure until the glass can't contain it anymore. The explosion sends hot wax and glass fragments flying at deadly velocities. In 2018, a college student in Ohio was blinded when her roommate's overheated lava lamp exploded during a party. The hot wax permanently damaged her corneas. Number 23. The deadly dance floor. In 1940, 209 people died at the Coconut Grove nightclub in Boston when the building caught fire. But here's the truly horrifying part. Most didn't die from the fire itself. They died from the crowd crush trying to escape. Dance floors become death traps during emergencies because people panic and push toward exits simultaneously. The pressure builds until people in the front are literally crushed against doors or walls by the weight of hundreds of people behind them. In 2003, 100 people died at the Station nightclub in Rhode Island. Security footage shows how quickly a fun night turned into a nightmare. Pyrotechnics ignited the ceiling, and within 90 seconds, the entire building was engulfed. Most victims died within feet of safety, crushed by the crowd trying to escape. The physics are brutal. A crowd moving at just 7 feet per second generates pressure equivalent to 4,500 pounds per square foot. Human bones can't withstand that force. Number 24. Death by birthday cake. Birthday candles seem harmless until you realize they're part of a bigger killer. All candle fires combined cause about 86 deaths yearly in the US. But there's a more bizarre way birthday cakes can kill. Bacteria from blowing out candles. When you blow out candles on cake, you spray bacteria across the frosting. For people with weak immune systems, this can be dangerous. The strangest birthday cake death happened in 2019 when a man was killed by an exploding cake. It contained trick candles that reignited, which ignited sparklers, which ignited a hidden firework. The explosion sent metal fragments through his skull. Number 25. Death by safety equipment. Our final story brings us full circle to the ultimate irony, being killed by the very things designed to save your life. In 2015, a construction worker in Chicago was killed when his hard hat got caught in machinery and snapped his neck. The chin strap, meant to keep the helmet secure, became a noose that strangled him. Seatbelts, designed to save lives in car crashes, kill about 30 people per year by trapping victims in burning or sinking vehicles. In 2018, a family of 4 drowned in their car because the electronic seatbelt release system malfunctioned after the car went into a lake. Life jackets have killed people by getting tangled in boat propellers. Safety harnesses have strangled construction workers. The irony is that our attempts to stay safe can sometimes create new dangers we never anticipated. So, there you have it. 25 ways the universe is actively trying to kill you, often using the most innocent-seeming objects and situations. From coconuts to lava lamps, from bathrooms to birthday cakes, danger lurks everywhere. The truth is, life is absurdly, hilariously, terrifyingly dangerous. But somehow, most of us make it through each day without being murdered by our household appliances or assassinated by tropical fruit. What unusual death surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe if you want more bizarre facts that'll make you question everything about our supposedly safe world. Until next time, stay alive out there. It's harder than you think.